Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
We're not going to allow left-wing rioters and agitators to stop the president from carrying out the lawful agenda that he was elected to do. But I think that if you back up here, you can see that what the left is doing is they're recognizing that immigration enforcement to them is a politically existential problem. They've spent years importing as many illegal aliens as they possibly could into the United States. They wanted those illegal aliens to impact congressional apportionment, to give blue states more congressmen than red states. They wanted to provide a path to citizenship, amnesty for these illegal aliens, to eventually allow them to vote, or to allow them to come into the United States, get on the dole, and vote illegally. That's been part of their political playbook, and we're not going to tolerate illegal immigration anymore. We're going to enforce our laws.
Yeah, this is why they're dying like movie vampires. This is why they've suddenly switched from, Minneapolis to nationwide, ICE has got to go. Nationwide, ICE has got to go. Nationwide, ICE is Nazis. It's so friggin' fake. It is as fake as the magic Loogie attack yesterday that happened with Ilhan Omar. Did you see that? I'm not doubting her. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. But let me tell you that the doubt is the size of Greenland, okay? Conveniently, under the microscope of massive corruption, over discovering that she had a winery that went from $15 in value to $5 million in value in a year. And then Carl Higbee last night said every trace of it, every trace of the winery, every bit of it, like bleach bit off of Hillary Clinton's servers and all of her devices, gone. This is a business that was up to $25 million in value, is now completely gone. And yesterday, the magic Loogie. Somebody goes up and throws some liquid on her, and I just have a funny feeling.
Fake.
I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt, but, the doubt is the size of Greenland. I mean, really, honestly. Sure. Okay, how many times do Republicans, MAGA supporters attack candidates or politicians from the Democrat Party? Oh, yeah, it's never happened. Okay, it happened. Okay, sure, it happened this time, whatever. Yeah, benefit of the doubt. But I tell you what, the doubt is huge. The doubt is gigantic. There's so much going on. I'll just start the show by saying I believe the reason why we did not have the Insurrection Act is because Donald Trump is working with Tim Walz to keep his ass out of jail. That's what I think. I think old Tim Walz is going to sing like a songbird. And here's another prediction. I think the Democrat Farmers and Laborers Party in Minnesota, the Justice Department is going to pursue them like an organized crime family. And I have a funny feeling a whole lot of people are going to be put in handcuffs because they need to be put in handcuffs. I got some stories. I was up at like 3 a.m. last night because I got my desk finally arriving from overseas today. We just unboxed it downstairs. It's in a giant box, a giant wooden crate. It looks like the one in the Christmas Story, the Fragile, but twice that size. And I thought maybe there was a mummy sarcophagus. I had no idea. We took it apart. And, of course, there was some damage. There had to be some damage. It couldn't be perfect, of course. So I got 2 guys downstairs unboxing it and getting ready to take it apart so they can bring it up the stairs. They're up the elevator and all that. But got that going on today. But there's some major stuff happening, and the James O'Keefe last night, as I was online, he decided to go to Minneapolis, and Minneapolis is Escape from New York meets a zombie movie. It is The Walking Dead. I'm not I'm not exaggerating. When you hear what happened to him, right now there are legions of people working with the Minnesota Democrat Farmers and Laborers Party to, they're downtown. They're in different neighborhoods. There's a massive network of them, and they look for suspicious vehicles. They look for vehicles that look like federal agent vehicles, and they immediately zero in on them, get license plate numbers, get descriptions, follow them, surveil them, threaten them. This is gigantic. It is bigger than you can imagine. Kash Patel has details on that. So we're going to get to that as the show progresses. The Democrat Party a couple years ago started calling ICE Nazis. They started calling ICE Nazis. Then they really started calling ICE Nazis when Kamala Harris was running for president. And then they went off the rails calling ICE Nazis because now they know that this nationwide fraud scheme involving illegals, involving trillions of dollars, is being uncovered. And they're also realizing they're going to lose the midterms because they haven't won an election in years. They haven't won an election in years. They have stolen elections. They have rigged elections. They have had illegals vote in elections. They've had mail-in ballots for elections. They never win on ideas. Abigail Spamberger, the Democrat who ran as a moderate in Virginia and then got into office and suddenly became a communist. This is how they do it. You cannot trust someone with a D in front of their name. The Democrat Party is an evil cabal. I told you the Democrat Party would have to be reinvented or disappear into the dustbin of history. It is in the dustbin. It needs to be gotten rid of and started over again. If you're a Democrat in good standing, you cannot be on this side of the political equation. They are so filthy, rotten, dirty, corrupt. If you don't believe me, look at healthcare nurses, anestheticians and whatnot going online saying they want to inject ICE agents with poison. They will not treat Trump supporters. It's a mental illness. If you're on the side of that, check yourself, man. Because you're not only on the wrong side of sanity, you're on the wrong side of God. I mean this from the bottom of my heart and soul. This is bleeped beyond belief. Bleeped beyond belief. And here's yesterday. Here is John Ossoff. He's running for office in Georgia. I believe his father's name is Jack Ossoff. Jack Ossoff is what his name is. But here is John Ossoff going off on ICE for no good reason.
We are living through perilous and disorienting moments. How can it be that masked federal agents set up checkpoints in American cities?
No, they don't.
Demand papers, rip Americans from their cars and throw them to the ground.
Because they're illegal alien criminals and they've been charged to do so. That's it. Here's a little bit more of Unhinged. And again, this is all unhinged. This is all melodrama meant to incite.
Masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, people disappearing, no due process. No oversight, zero accountability happening in
everything he just said is a lie.
United States of America today.
When I see ICE, I see slave patrols.
Yeah, there we go. That's last year. Again, fomenting rage, hate. Suddenly now, what do we got? We got ICE is Gestapo.
These ICE agents running around our communities like masked bank robbers, terrorizing.
What are they covering up? Thou dost protest too much. They are covering up something. Here's the President of the United States talking about this.
So in Minnesota, they think it's $19 billion.
Yeah.
If they think it's $19 billion, triple it or quadruple.
And it's going to get louder because this is an election year. And they will do anything. They will do anything to cover their butts. They will do anything. The last election cycle, they tried to put Donald Trump in jail, take his fortune, censored all of us, put hundreds and hundreds of people in jail for January the 6th, surveilled parking lots at school board meetings, tried to take Donald Trump off the ballot, and tried to kill him twice. Imagine what they'll try this election cycle.
And if we catch a lot of this fraud, and I felt it for a long time, but now we know what's happening. And the answer is, yeah, there will be accountability. It's one of the little problems. You know, I happen to think, and I've said it from the beginning, that a lot of what's going on with respect to Minneapolis, you know, with what's happening with all the hoopla, is so people don't talk about.
You think it's a distraction?
I've said it from day one. It's a distraction because what you don't see is that we have.
This is why he's sending in the feds. He's doing the Al Capone. He's going after the finances. He's going after that. He's going to go send IRS in and FBI. And he's removing the DHS. See what he's doing here? And old Timmy is going to be singing like a songbird.
Hundreds of accountants from Todd and from all of the different people. We have hundreds of accountants going over everything that's happening. And we're finding fraud on top of fraud on top of fraud.
Yeah, you don't believe me? How about Mehmet Oz, Dr. Oz? He's in charge of all of this.
We have just sent a letter to Governor Walz alerting him to something he probably fears and should have taken action in a timely manner to avoid.
Yeah.
We are auditing all of the Medicaid bills, in particular for the 14 programs that he and his own administration have admitted were problems.
Yeah.
And we're going to claw that money back from the Medicaid monies that they'll be getting. Now, this is a major problem for the state because they've got to own the fact that they have been bilking the federal taxpayer for their sloppy behavior for years.
Yeah.
What we have learned
So have other Democrat states.
so far, Minnesota is just the tip of the iceberg, perhaps the largest Medicaid scam ever taking place throughout the state in many different fashions.
Yeah.
But just alone with the things that we're concerned about, we're talking about $500 million or more of money that could be in places that we're not even sure how it was billed, where it went. People are having trouble tracking it. We challenge
$24 billion in California for homelessness. Yeah, they don't even know where the money went.
Administration to give us a corrective action plan by the end of the year. They
Feeding Our Future, $250 million. Don't know where it went.
sent us something after hours on New Year's Eve. It was
Hundreds of millions of dollars for autism, for kids who don't have autism and parents who lied about it.
completely insufficient. This is an appropriate response from the federal government. President Trump's been very clear on this. He doesn't want 6 million people or less living in Minnesota to have all the fraud that happened in that state paid for by all the other taxpayers in the country. And for the 6 million people in Minnesota, Governor Walz let you down. His administration, despite all the blustering now, did not do their job.
And suddenly, Timmy is in the get-along gang. Donald Trump talked to him and said, I can't even believe this is the same person talking to me on the phone. Oh, we got so much on. We got so much on the show. Wait till you hear this O'Keefe audio. Oh my God, it's The Walking Dead, baby. It is Escape from New York. I'll do it next. Okay, when you hear it again, I watched it all night. I was up half the night. Watch it. You won't believe it. And then, of course, Doug Burns at the bottom of the hour is going to break it all down, including Abigail Spamberger. She got her rear end kicked. They tried to redistrict Virginia to steal the election from Republicans in the midterms. Didn't work out so well. So I got a beat on all of this, like the magic Loogie hitting Ilhan Omar. I got it targeted and ready to go. Here's a number: 800-922-6680. This is the Rob Carson Show.
He's run Minnesota in the ground. Massive fraud Timmy never found. Billions lost. Oh, what a cost. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. He's obstructing ICE every day. He wants illegals to get their way. Out of control. He has no soul. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. Tim is thinking they might impeach him. Should be resigning. For Minnesota, he has done no good. It's sad, so sad. As governor, he's been bad. Many calls for Tim Walz to step down. Minnesota can't afford this clown. Throw him in jail, deny him bail. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. His impeachment is an absolute must. Tim has lost the people's trust. He's gotta go, 'cause we all know, goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble.
With the actions he's taken, Jacob Bright is making Minneapolis a clown town. Ice fries a bosun while Tim Walz is dozing. City has become a clown town. Ilhan Omar's hiding fraud, Keith Ellison's obstructing a war on law enforcement, Jacob Price conducting, Tampon Tim is so incompetent. Most Minnesotans want no more of him. It's a clown town, Minneapolis, clown town. It's far from fabulous, clown town. Once great cities become clown town, clown town.
Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
We can't win a war that we do not acknowledge exists.
Yeah.
This is not an immigration issue like it was for our parents' generation or anything else in the 80s or even 20 years ago in the 2000s. This is not some people in Mexico who want to come over and do some work and head back to Mexico peaceably. This is an organized effort to destroy America.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I want that to sit out there for a second.
No, it's real.
Because, and I don't do this very often, I don't like the people who play I had this conversation with Charlie, and I did this thing with Charlie and whatever, and I get it, and Charlie spoke to so many people and affected so many people, but it is true, and on my phone, which I've never shared the screenshots, the last substantive conversation I had with Charlie was about the Islamification of the West, the Islamification of Texas.
And the Green-Red Alliance. I've been saying for years, the Marxists and the Islamists are very, 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 very similar, and they have united to come together and take down our country. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart, guys. This is deadly serious. And I've also told you, I said, we are in a de facto civil war. The left has soldiers for hire. We saw them in action in Minneapolis, and they are being paid, and they are seditious. They are seditious. And by the way, the Minnesota DFL is linked. The DFL and Defend 612. Elliot Payne, president of the Minneapolis City Council, publicly promoted Defend 612 on X, encouraging residents to join community patrols, monitoring ICE activity. In January 26, he credited a group with stopping an ICE operation at 23rd Street and Central Avenue. Dan Engelhard, Minneapolis Parks and Recreation Commissioner, repeatedly promoted Defend 612 across Instagram, urging residents to register or defend612.com for neighborhood watches, rapid response actions. He also led a unanimous 9-0 park board resolution in January 26 opposing ICE staging at Minneapolis parks, submitted a declaration in December 2025 ACLU lawsuit against ICE activities. The Minnesota Democrat Farmer Labor Party, formed in 1944 through a merger of the Democrat Party and the Progressive Farmer Labor Party. The DFL is Minnesota's state affiliate of the Democrat Party. DFL-controlled bodies, including the Minneapolis City Council and Park Board, have passed measures opposing ICE operations and restricting cooperation with federal immigration officials. The structure transforms the DFL from a candidate-focused party into an organization that coordinates activism around specific groups. This effectively makes the DFL a state-funded activist organization. And look what they're doing. Here is James O'Keefe going into downtown Minneapolis.
Usually I'm pretty confrontational, but we soon realized the only way to deal with these types of White Walkers, or zombies, as we call them, is to just not engage.
Roll up your window. Roll up your window now.
He just drove into downtown driving an SUV, and all of a sudden they started gathering around him like zombies, coming out of nowhere and gathering around him. This is real.
Anything else would lead to escalation and violence. It's safe to say that I've never seen anything like this in my life. Yeah. Just driving down a street will have people scream to you and curse at you and threaten violence. In fact, independent journalist Cam Higbee was nearby and texted me at this time, telling me that trucks, Tahoes, Suburbans, SUVs are an absolute no-go. He advised us to get a Subaru or other mom car, or Honda, as he said. He mentioned they would bank our license plate.
Yeah, they got the license plate, and they're working with the state government to be able to track the license plates and go after people. It is so freaking insane. You have no idea. Oh, but it gets much scarier. It gets much, 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 much scarier.
But they continued to follow us. All you can do is merely disengage and try your best to get out. But they follow you, and they don't stop following you. It felt like a horror movie. This agitator attempted to organize an army, recruiting members of the mob to follow us.
Yeah. And then they tried to go to the hotel. Listen to this.
People need to wake up because, that's what the future looks like. That's the future. I felt like we're in a movie. Perhaps Children of Men would be the closest metaphor I can see. Zombies attacking the car, attacking you. Cartel guys, you should put in the line in the sand. Cartel was running away from me when I pulled up with the press vest in California. But here, they throw bricks at the police.
Yeah.
We went back to our hotel. My undercover reporter found spotters from their groups spying on us, following us, and reporting back to their signal chat.
In the hotel.
We have to get out of the hotel.
James, go pack.
Okay, I need you with me.
Yeah, let's go.
We have to get out of the hotel.
Yeah, so they decided to go to another hotel, and they were followed.
We soon realized we had to change hotels and moved to another location 30 minutes away. People were following us on the freeway. Reporter Cam Higbee also reported that people were following him.
White Chevy Silverado with the
that's them.
Newly changed plates with the coexist sticker on the back. We're on Irving.
This is their dispatch.
We seem to be the only commuters following. Just wanted to give an update on our location.
We aren't ICE. We are not ICE. We're not ICE. Because you're fucking ICE. We're not ICE.
And what is the finale for having the audacity to drive into downtown Minneapolis, driving an SUV?
Upon getting to our next hotel, my security detail showed me a text message that he had received from what appeared to be a burner number threatening to kill us if we do not vacate the city of Minneapolis within the next hour. We just got this message, and it says, we know that you're in Minneapolis. You're with O'Keefe and his crew of Nazis. You're in a white Ford license plate. They actually wrote the license plate down from Florida. You have 1 hour to leave or you're dead. You have 1 hour to leave or you're dead.
And the DFL and the lieutenant governor and everybody are involved. You have every right to be able to drive into Minneapolis, Minnesota, on the public streets of Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is Escape from New York. This is The Walking Dead. And I swear to God, this is going to result in the DFL being investigated by the Department of Justice. This cannot happen. It cannot happen in America. I told you, this is a Confederate city and a Confederate state, and it's going to be shut down by the Justice Department. Let's take a break and come back. It's the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson from Birch Gold.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago.
I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
Somalis are all on welfare, and the Dems just seem to not care. Ilhan Omar, she needs to go. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. Many are anti-Semitic. Their statements have been pathetic. They're a threat to all you know. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. They are always expressing hate of America. Why are they here? Must deport before it's too late. Talk about holiday cheer. Our language, they will not learn it. Own money, refuse to earn it. They are gaming the system so. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. When you're a man who calls himself a girl, it can be a bonus. When you compete with women, you have to hide. Ooh, that pair of cojones. I can cycle against the girls, that's my choice. I can steal their medals with this manly voice, 'cause the left makes me feel, the left makes me feel, the left makes me feel like a transgender woman. When I compete with females, I'm the one that's feared, 'cause I'm the only person in the race with a beard. But somehow I feel the left makes me feel, they make me feel like a transgender woman.
Unfortunately, it seems like the Democrat Blue Book right now is to run on affordability and run as a moderate and then lie and do the exact opposite. We're seeing it all over the country. Unfortunately, Spanberger actually had a Blue Book handed to her, 2.7 surplus or 2.7 billion surplus from Youngkin, a Blue Book that she could follow and continue to deliver for Virginians. But in fact, she's doing the exact opposite. Not only that, the only thing she plans on rolling back is fraud prevention, which is going to be a problem, as we see in Minnesota, as we see in California, and as we see in Washington State.
Yeah, I moved to Virginia 6 months ago thinking that, I was escaping or not moving back to Maryland, which is a complete Charlie Foxtrot leftist piece of crap state. And then, lo and behold, there's an election that happened here, and a bunch of moderates. Abigail Spanberger, moderate, was voted in. She's a crazy cat lady, Karen, by the way, and also a communist. And she is ushered in with this very, very left of center supermajority in the legislature in Virginia. A swath of massively left of center communist. Gun-grabbing, green energy, election integrity, flushing down the toilet, also getting rid of any oversight for charities that get government money. It's a massive corruption cabal, not run on. They lied to get in office and then sprung this on it. To discuss the legality of this and so much more is Doug Burns, former federal prosecutor. Doug, welcome to the show. How are you today, man?
Good, Rob. Thanks.
So, listen, if you're a communist, you run as a communist, and if people vote for you, they vote for you, and if you don't, you lose. Now we've got Democrats running as moderates, and then when they get into office, doing this bat guano crazy nonsense they didn't run on. Is that constitutional? Is that fair, Doug? That's misrepresentation. I want to know what you think.
That's a really, really interesting legal question that I had never really thought about. So the point is, if you're in a classroom, you go, look, X is a candidate for office. You know, they love using X. So that's another seminar. Yeah. But X is a candidate for office. X is saying that they're going to be moderate and down the middle and so on and so forth. People vote for that candidate relying on what they were promising. And then when they get in office, they come in with this wild thing. You know, that's a fascinating debate. I mean, working backwards, first of all, the remedy would be immediate, recall, kick them out of office, even impeach them. Why not? On the grounds that they lied and were untruthful about what they were going to do in office. Whether it's a criminal case, that's a very, very tricky question. I mean, if you want to be sort of creative, you could say, yeah, it's some type of fraud theory. Why not? They fraudulently said that they were going to do A, B, and C. And now I'm going to quote from all the fraud statutes. Whereas in truth and in fact, they had no intention whatsoever of doing that, et cetera, et cetera. It is something to be debated. It's debatable and considerable. But again, not to get over the skis, the real remedy is just kick them out of office.
Well, we will have to consider that because I'm not going to move. I just moved here. I'm not going to, and I'm certainly not going to let the great state of Virginia go to hell in a handbasket because of this. Virginia judge ruled that Democrats' attempt to redistrict unlawfully, the attempted redistrict Virginia, unconstitutional and dead on arrival. Tazewell County Circuit Court order ruled that a proposed Virginia constitutional amendment was not lawfully advanced under the Virginia Constitution and state law, finding that the General Assembly failed to comply with Virginia Code 3013, Article 12, meaning no valid first date has occurred because there is no intervening general election of the House of Delegates. So they wanted to basically gerrymander Virginia to basically get rid of any Republican representation by the midterms and steal the election. Have you heard much about this? It sounds like they've been blocked, at least in this coming election.
I'm hearing about it pretty much for the first time. I heard a little bit about it, but we've been covering redistricting a lot, and there's no question about it. Those are very sleazy. I have no hesitancy in using that word. Sleazy attempts to give them some type of advantage, obviously, in an election, and the judge called them out. It sounds like, from what you're saying, that it's a procedural ruling, but procedural rulings have the same effect as a substantive ruling, meaning it doesn't matter if it's because you didn't comply with the requirements in the statute or whether or not the judge feels that substantively it's wrong. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is you can't do it, and it's been slapped down. Judges, related seminars sometimes will try to cite procedural, technical stuff. You didn't comply, so they don't have to reach the merits, as we lawyers say. But the point is, the whole redistricting thing bothers me a lot because you just see shameless efforts,
yes.
To go. I mean, when I heard you introducing the show, about this stuff, about these wild positions, again, it's the same refrain we always discuss, which is the media. So, you got people in New York City where I'm standing right now. They voted for the current mayor. They walked around. They looked at me. Their face looked like Edith Bunker. They're like, Doug, should I vote for this guy? And I blame the media because the point is, by analogy to Virginia, it's not being communicated to the public one way or the other what's really going on. That's my point.
Now, let's move to the city of Minneapolis. We are discovering a massive cabal of Democrats literally doing this kind of dragnet using state resources to track people, use their license plate number, and they are basically getting people to go to ICE events, shut down ICE events, get involved in law enforcement. It goes all the way to the top, apparently, to the lieutenant governor. This, to me, sounds like insurrection. The Democrat Farmers and Laborers Party is very involved in this. The City Council of Minneapolis Parks and Recreation. I used to live there. Okay, I used to live there. I'm wondering if Donald Trump pulled the ICE out of there and is doing kind of an Al Capone and going after all of this criminality, all of this fraud, and the cabal that's running it, like an organized crime family. What do you think?
Well, here's the problem for the people who are looking into cameras with a straight face on the liberal channels and, ICE's behavior is so terrible. The reality is they are losing or have even lost the jury, the American public, because the American public knows full well. Lawyers love inferences. I've told you that many times, so let me just fill it out. Like in Epstein, which is the last thing I want to talk about, but hear me out. The inference was the Biden administration had 4 years to do something about this case. They never said one word for 4 years. That's an overwhelming, devastating inference that cannot be overcome. And when the Epstein history books are written, you'll see that this was a complete and total flame out by them because it was a fake, bogus thing about how all of a sudden it was so important. Turning to Minneapolis, overwhelming, devastating inference. How many, let me have a little fun here, how many other cities, Rob, are having this problem?
Let me see here. None.
How many other cities? Answer, 0, none, zip, nada.
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason is because this is a fake, artificially engineered scenario. You hit it right on the head, out of the park as usual. And the fact of the matter is, going so far as to put people in harm's way of death. Okay? And it's just a total disgrace, okay? Now, having said that, in fairness, the left, I hate to go, insensitive, whatever, but legal X's and O's, they got a little lucky because in the latest fact pattern, there are some things that they can work with, which was the big fake, he's holding a gun, so now you're not in favor of gun ownership anymore and all that nonsense. The reality is, you don't go act like you're in a rugby scrum with 7 federal agents with a gun on your hip. Case closed. Not complicated.
Yes. Well, obviously, and any person who concealed carries know that if you're approached by a law officer, you tell them you have a gun.
Of course.
Utterly ridiculous. There's much more to cover. I want to cover Ilhan Omar's winery disappearing overnight. It disappeared overnight. We're going to cover that on the other side of the break with Doug Burns. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Benny Johnson was able to find their supposed inventory bottles and all the things they had, their office location, and a bunch of other information on the business. But as of today, those sites are totally shut down, and any mention of their website has been wiped off the internet. I'm talking gone. The Wayback Machine, all these other crafty little archive sites, everything is gone. Like, deleted the root service. I called my computer buddy Jim. He couldn't even find it with some fancy AR jargon bot machine.
This is Ilhan Omar's winery.
For recovery. I don't even know who was explaining it to me. He couldn't even find it, which is weird that a company that boasted an award-winning wine, quote, double gold winner in 2022 San Fran Chronicle competition with a corporate value of up to $5 million would just vanish into thin air?
Poof!
They didn't sell it? Is it possible for this to be a functioning business and have absolutely no footprint, wiped from the internet, go from 1,000 net worth to 5 million in less than a year?
You have to have a federal license to have an alcohol facility. Where is her winery on the TTB website? That's the federal regulatory body that does this. So no, this doesn't exist, and it's a phantasm that the idea you can have a winery increase in value. Everybody else in the wine business knows better.
Is there a wine called a Frodonay? Doug Burns, is there a Frodonay?
Yes, there is. I think I was hearing my buddy Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Who has a winery, so
Yes.
he knows whereof he speaks. But I'm confused here. I thought sunlight was the best disinfectant, Rob.
Oh my God! But Doug, so the thing goes from $0 to $5 million. Benny Johnson got on, showed it was in a strip mall or whatever. There were no wines. They stopped maintaining their social media platform in 2023. Does that sound like a successful winery? I mean, please,
No, it
Doug,
doesn't.
this is so transparent. She's going to the DOJ is going to crawl up her rear end.
No, there's no question about it. I mean, they need to investigate it fully, and so on and so forth. I mean, and it's about time because, there are serious questions about the accumulation of wealth. It's no big surprise. People who get elected to Congress often become wealthy from it, more than other branches of government, which is interesting because if you're in the executive branch, you make a salary, okay? And, maybe you can make speeches and things like that, honoraria. If you're a judge, same thing. But the one branch of government that's completely out of control in terms of money is Congress, the legislature, because they can raise all kinds of money, ostensibly for campaigns, but guess what? It starts getting used for other things. They can engage in insider trading, which is shocking and horrific. They can leave office with a stockpile of money that they had raised, again, for campaigning. I saw a congressman, I won't name him, on Long Island, and he was at a book event, this and that, and boy, he looked like the most relaxed guy on the planet because he left Congress and he's got about $5 million.
Yeah, and listen, this is Tim Burchett. He's now in charge of Doge, and he says that there are members of Congress who own buildings in Washington, D.C. who are renting them back to the government.
Marjorie Taylor Greene had us in there in a building that was basically empty. That was the people that were supposed to be overseeing our real estate. And I asked the question, are members of Congress owning real estate? And the guys that are being rented to the federal government in Washington, D.C., and the guy said, yeah, they are. And it stopped right there, nothing. And that should have been the beginning of it. I'm going to be on the front end of it. It's not going to be sexy, and hopefully the screaming will be back and forth because that's just the nature of politics. We're going to eliminate that, and we're going to eliminate the corruption that is infiltrated.
So basically he's saying that there are members of Congress who own buildings, renting them to the federal government, and they're empty.
You think that's a conflict much? I mean, look,
oh my God,
it's insane. I mean,
Doug.
look, I've been at the cocktail parties in Washington, and they're like, hi Jim, how are you? Jim is with a law firm. Oh yes, we just got a $9 million contract with the ABC agency of the government. Everything's government and government money.
Yeah.
It's not any big surprise from the standpoint of human nature that when you're talking about billions of dollars, you're going to get all kinds of corruption going on. So, again, broken record. Congress is the most out of control of the three branches vis-a-vis members making money outside of their congressional
But let me ask you this. What about all these other states? Because California, I heard yesterday, is a $230 million mental health program. It only helped 22 people.
Well,
20 million, 10 million. No, Doug, they're going after all of this.
10 million each, Rob. I'm trying to do the math.
Then I need to be mentally ill, for God's sake. Well, some might argue I am. But how is the DOJ going to handle all of this? How many lawyers are going to have to hire all of this? Because it's being exposed. Doug, this is the biggest thing we've ever seen in our lives. We are seeing that the United States government, and working with Democrat states, is more corrupt than the Soviet Union ever dreamed of being. How do we tackle all of this?
There's a ton of corruption. It's been, it's a long-standing thing. It's not brand new. And it's just amazing. And, there's the reason why it's called the swamp, Rob, okay?
Wow.
Because it is a swamp, and there's a lot of corruption, as I said, and, everybody has their big estates in, McLean, Virginia, and isn't that nice? Off the backs of the American taxpayers, basically. But again, anytime there's fraud, it's got to be investigated, and investigated thoroughly. Ilhan Omar, my goodness, it seems to me that she really... You talk about John Gotti being the Teflon Don. She's right up there with him, it seems to me.
Yeah, and then, of course, she got attacked by liquid yesterday. And oddly enough, the guy who attacked her with liquid fell into the arms of security, ran into the arms of security. Then she went after him, and then she delivered an Oscar-worthy speech soon thereafter. I'm calling it the magic loogie.
Well, I'll be diplomatic. We're going to be careful with my words. I raised immediate questions to my wife about the circumstances of that.
I said, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, but the doubt is the size of Greenland.
There you go.
All right,
Bigger
Doug.
than Greenland, anyway. But, look, she's, it's hard to believe, honestly, some of the stuff. And, she just jumps in over the skis over and over and over on every particular...
I hope she's shipped out to Somalia penniless. Doug Burns, thank you, my friend. As always, an exciting day.
Thanks, Rob. Great to be with you.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. So much stuff to talk about, so much bull crap. Oh, my God. Hello, Gary McGovern and Timothy McNulty and Kathy Deaton. All you guys, good to see you watching on YouTubeage. YouTubeage America, Marcy, what up, what up, what up? Crazy, crazy, crazy times, aren't they? Aren't they crazy times? I didn't even cover everything. With Doug. Let's see who's watching on the Rumbly Roo. Scarecrow 2, 10 Commandment is enough for me, okay? I believe in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Me too, she-brat. Big time, baby. Burp, 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 burp. Good to have you. Jews don't believe in Jesus. Yes, they do believe in Jesus. They don't believe he's the Son of God. That's all. That's all. You guys are getting all sorts of philosophical over there on the Rumbly Roo. The Rumbly Roo. Good to see that. Good to see you guys are engaging in a great conversation. You know what I want to do, guys? Eventually, I want to do a cruise, a streamer cruise. I want to do a streamer cruise for all of you regulars, and we give you a special deal, and we all go on a cruise. I think, wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun? Give you a special deal. I don't know. We could do, if it's just streamers, we could go up the river, like up, the Mississippi River or something, do one of those. Or we could do a little Caribbean cruise, whatever. But don't you think that'd be fun? I think that'd be really fun. Oh, I got to find my new parody from Paul, or from Jim. Hold on. Here it is. All right. Hold on. Oh, here we are. Here we go. I got to talk now. Yeah, she's a filthy scumbag piece of crap. That's what Ilhan Omar is. She's a filthy scumbag piece of crap. Here we go.
You have about 3 minutes.
Representative Omar, are you okay?
I'm gonna go figure if I am, but I feel okay. I feel that it is important for people, whether they're in elected office or not, to allow these people to intimidate us, to make us not fight for our constituents and for the country we love. And as I said, I've survived war. And I'm definitely going to survive intimidation and whatever these people think they can throw at me.
Unbelievable. That's an Oscar-worthy speech there. And the best lie goes to, honestly, this is Ilhan Omar. She was attacked by a liquid. The thing is, they showed this guy's profile, the guy who threw liquid at her, and on it says, hands off Minnesota. He's a radical leftist. He hangs out with these gauged-eared, nose-ring, blue-haired lefties. He is a plant. He is a complete plant. My God, what an absolute joke. And by the way, also her winery is fake. Her winery disappeared completely from the interweb last night, worth millions of dollars. And now it's gone. It's like a Somali daycare center.
Omar had no winery. It was fraud so clear to see. She should be reported and deported immediately.
Ilhan Omar, this fake congressperson, who they just reported is worth $30 million. You believe this?
We all know that Omar is a crook who really should go
back to Somalia.
Her winery does not exist.
No, not at all.
It's a fake. Just like those daycare centers, it was used to hide cash and increase her stash. Omar had no winery. It was formed illegally. It is time that they took her and then book her. Hear our plea.
Wow, that is the first parody of Ebony and Ivory I've ever heard. That's a song that Michael Jackson did with Paul, the Beatles.
McCartney.
Yeah, McCartney. Dear Lord in heaven. Brain fart. There you go. That was a terrible song, almost as bad as We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. But anyway, he made it funny, didn't he? Hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show. Oh my God, if you thought this one was on fuego, it's only going to get bigger and better. Don't go anywhere.
most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is a small bunch of wannabe Nazis. That's what they are. In a country of 350 million, we outnumber them.
No, you
and
don't.
As long as we stick to our values, protect our rights, make it very clear that homicide is not okay just because you are a federal officer.
Yeah.
There will be accountability now. There will be accountability in the future. There will be accountability after Trump is out of office. If we have to hunt you down the way they hunted down Nazis for decades, we will find your identities. We will find you. We will achieve justice, and we will do so under the Constitution and the laws of the United States.
That is DA Larry Krasner. I slept up there in Philadelphia. He's supposed to be a DA, and he's already a judge, jury, and executioner for ICE. And I got to tell you, I'm done. Are you done with this bullcrap? Are you finished with it? This temper tantrum? Just done with this outrageous, unnecessary, irresponsible, violent rhetoric from Democrats. They know they're going to lose in the midterms. They know they've been exposed for their massive fraud. They are doing everything they can to besmirch law enforcement. They defunded the police in 2020. Now they're doing it to ICE. Screw you. Honestly, there's no negotiating with you. There is only defeating you. There is only defeating you. The midterms have to be considered a battle. We have to win this battle to save our country from these jerks. You've got trillions of dollars of fraud stolen from you and me. We heard yesterday a mental health program in California, $232 million. Only 22 people helped. What else do you need? The Democrat Party is the largest organized crime family in the history of mankind, and they must be taken apart. People must be prosecuted. People must go to jail. I got to tell you. And what they're doing is they're doing everything. They're gnashing their teeth. They're clawing. They're scratching. This is, I used to live in Kentucky. Kentucky's a great state. Unfortunately, they have an idiot who is the governor, and his name is Andy Beshear. Here's what he's saying about ICE, because ICE is doing what they need to do and actually going after the people that Democrats allowed to come in wholesale over the southern border for the last 4 years. The reason why Donald Trump is the president, one of the many reasons, is to stop that and deport those people. And here he is trying to distract and blame ICE.
Well, the first thing we have to do is demand that they pull these officers out of all of our cities and that they...
Yeah, see, they want to get them out of the Democrat cities because they're exposing the massive fraud.
Fully retrain every...
They're not having any issues at all in Texas. Did you notice that? Where are all the shootings? Where are all the ICE shootings of people in Texas? Because Texas authorities are cooperating with ICE, you see. In Minneapolis, they're literally dispatching people to attack ICE. Federal or state authorities, city officials involved in a massive web using state resources to go after ICE and attack them. It is actually happening.
Single one of them. They are operating with aggressive tactics that are not appropriate for law enforcement.
No, not at all. They're defending themselves.
They are not following our Constitution.
Yes, they are. Absolutely 100%. All of it is just such bullcrap. They're again, what did I tell you? What have I told you the last, how many years? The Democrat Party, they're dying like movie vampires, doing a death spiral into hell. You're witnessing it. You saw what they were willing to do in 2020, burning down the country, shutting down the country with a fake virus was created in China, and they never held anybody accountable. Surveilling school board meetings, censoring all of our speech on all platforms. Chief counsel of the FBI at the time left and went to, in 2018, left and went to Twitter. Yeah, and then they censored all of our speech in 2020, so they could C-block our protestation of the 2020 election, and then it went even further after that. Do you see what they're an evil cabal? The Democrat Party is an evil cabal, and I am and as I always say, they expose their flank so we can kick their butts. Here is Scott Jennings of the Voice of Reason, an island of sanity in a sea of insanity at CNN. Of all of the things that the left said that Elon Musk was a Nazi. The left said it was bad that Donald Trump went in and got Maduro. The left said that the drug boat terrorist cartel members were kind fishermen. They're on the wrong side of every single thing. They're willing to sell their souls. They'd be willing to say that Satan is the Pope. That's how evil this Democrat Party is.
I would just caution all these people. You cannot let an angry mob nullify federal law in a jurisdiction. If
you
they
mean,
do
you
that,
mean the American
if they,
people?
if they
is that what
do
the
that,
angry mob is?
if
The American people?
These people in Minneapolis are an angry mob, whether you like it or not. They don't like the fact that the president is enforcing long-standing federal immigration
Does
law.
that mean they should be
That's
shot
what
on the
they-
street,
that's-
Scott?
No,
That's the question that we're talking about, right?
The debate is about what the president's going to do next.
Let me give you an example of the what the Democrat or the people on the CNN panel are saying is just expressing your First Amendment rights.
You know, one thing that hating men has trained me for is literally trained me for chasing ice cars off of my street. 5 of them right now. Following them down the neighborhood, honking, blowing whistles, telling them to off. All that rage that I have felt towards men
Oh, she don't like men.
is coming out. I have been trained for this moment.
In order to dismantle white supremacy,
Yes.
we have to be willing to lose
Yes.
the benefits of whiteness.
Uh.
Means they kill us too. That's what that means.
Yeah.
And it's time for some radical acceptance about that, guys. That's what it's going to take to dismantle white supremacy,
Wow.
is losing the benefits
By
of...
the way, femininity is so much more toxic than masculinity. I mean, do you understand why they did that? Wow. Oh, my God. They're the Manson family followers. They are. They're squeaky from. They're the Manson family followers, white liberal Karens.
And if you were to let them win and you were to be run out of town, what do you think would happen in L.A., Chicago, New York, all over the country? You're
So
either
you
gonna
don't think
choose
what happened
to
to Alex
enforce the
Freddie
law
was
or you're not.
problematic? I mean,
Do I think it's problematic?
Listen.
Of course it's problematic.
Yeah.
Okay, was it wrong?
Anytime
Like,
someone
how far are you
dies,
willing to go?
anytime someone dies, it's problematic.
Yeah.
But what they're asking for
Is it wrong?
is for federal law
it wrong?
enforcement
Listen to her just defend, and convict ICE.
to be sent out of town.
Is it wrong?
And that no federal laws
Is
be
it
enforced.
wrong?
Was what happened
There
to
she's trying to filibuster.
Alex Preddy on the street wrong?
Was it wrong?
Was it wrong?
I'm waiting for an investigation.
Oh, there you go. Imagine that. And guess who else is waiting for an investigation, not making up their mind? The
The whole
president.
thing is terrible. I don't like the fact that he was carrying a gun that was fully loaded and he had 2 magazines with him, and
Yeah.
it's pretty unusual.
Yeah.
But nobody knows when they saw the gun, how they saw
He
it.
also attacked ICE a couple weeks earlier and broke a rib. He was a nutbag, absolute nutbag.
The gun, everything else. Bottom line, it was terrible. Both of them were terrible. The other was terrible too. And I'm not sure about his parents, but I know her parents were big Trump fans. Makes me feel
There you go.
bad anyway. But I mean, I guess you could say even worse. They were tremendous Trump people, Trump fans, and you know the daughter was.
And their parents knew they were off their nut. This is Joey Jones over on Fox. He's the guy with the robot legs, yeah, because he's a brave American patriot who lost his legs defending our country.
There's only one person in this world that could have absolutely prevented Alex Preddy from getting shot that day,
Who's
and it's
that?
Alex Preddy. That doesn't mean I think he should have been shot. I don't think it was necessary whatsoever to shoot Alex Preddy to save a life. But I get to watch that incident from behind Alex Preddy, not as one of the arresting officers and not as potentially the person that I believe from looking at the video did shoot him.
He's not a martyr. He was a useful idiot. Cannon fodder for the Democrat Party trying to cover up its absolute corruption, and also a soldier in a Marxist army that wants to take down America. They do.
Why does he have 10 rounds in him? Because if you have to shoot anybody once, you better shoot them enough to kill them, because if you're shooting somebody, you think they're trying to kill you. Why was he shot? He was shot because of the reasonableness clause, the reasonableness doctrine. The Supreme Court decided this, which is the fact that if you are a police officer conducting police work, someone has resisted arrest, disobeyed orders, and shown the means to harm you, then you have the ability to protect yourself.
Yes.
You call him a protester, I call him an agitator. He showed up with a cell phone. He showed up in the middle of the street, in the middle of an operation. That's common
He attacked an officer. He pushed the officer. He went after the officer.
sense To carry a weapon on your person and to get in the middle of a police operation, whether you believe it or not, that is lawful. Another way it could have been prevented is if there was a police cordon from Minneapolis Police Department stopping people from, like Alex Pretty, from getting in the middle of the operation rather than holding a sign and speaking loudly and proudly from 100 feet away. That is the end of the story.
Yep. 100%. It's not happening in the rest of the country. It's only happening in Minneapolis because these guys are useful idiots being used by the Democrat Party. And he lost his life. Cannon fodder, baby. They don't care. They don't even care. Ohio Democrat Attorney General candidate Elliot Fordham has a video. This isn't funny, especially after our president was nearly assassinated twice. I want you to listen to this jackass. You know, he's a Democrat, so like the AG who is now in charge in Virginia, who literally fantasized about the death of his opponent, he's the AG now. Listen to this fool.
Hi, this is Elliot Forehand, candidate for Ohio Attorney General. I want to tell you what I mean when I say that I am going to kill Donald Trump. I mean, I'm going to obtain a conviction rendered by a jury of his peers.
That's not what you mean, you ass. You are meaning to inflame somebody. You're meaning to get somebody to try to pull the trigger on Donald Trump again. Just like they called him a MAGA fascist, just like they called him Hitler, just like called him that. And then, of course, two people got into the most prone position possible to kill Donald Trump. This is what you're trying to do. Nobody fools you. You supposedly have a law degree. You know this.
At a standard of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, based on evidence presented at a trial conducted in accordance with the requirements of due process, resulting in a sentence duly executed of capital punishment. That is what I mean when I say.
And what would the charges be? Or did you just use a bunch of falderall and bullcrap to cover up you saying, I want to kill Donald Trump. I'm going to kill Donald Trump. Of course, that's it. He used that verbal masturbation after he said it to cover his rear end when he actually made a threat to the President of the United States. This man should be arrested. That's it. Done messing around with these people. Are you done messing around with them? I can make fun of them all day long, but I'm going to tell you, they have to be defeated. I said that, I'm going to use mockery, ridicule, and satire. You're going to overwhelm them with joy and patriotism, and we're going to leave it up to Donald Trump to kick their butts, and that's going to have to happen. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey, guys.
right now.
WCBM.
So if things don't go well with this,
Have them rejoin.
Poor little Democrats. Are you guys okay today? I came in to check on you. Every time Trump does something good, you guys spaz out. Would you guys shut up and let him work?
That is a Rob Carson show. Donald Trump was in my home state of Iowa and was warmly received. He was warmly received. This is at a restaurant. Wow, that's crazy. That is just nuts. I guess they're all Nazis. By the way, Donald Trump is saying that Doug Burns just texted me and said Donald Trump is saying of the attack on Ilhan Omar by a lefty, by the way, by a lefty. His social media profile was not scrubbed. He is down with the Hands Off Minnesota movement, the anti-Pam Bondi movement, all of that, the purple hair, the whole deal. And of course, after he threw the liquid, I'm just going to call it the magic loogie is what I'm going to call it, just for bleeps and giggles. He didn't hack at her. But anyway, he literally ran into the arms of the security, and then she went after him. And by the way, right before he got up, she made I don't know, it was almost like a wink, like, okay, now. So, of course I believe it was fake. 1,000%, and Donald Trump says too. He says, yeah, she probably had herself sprayed. So there you go. Yeah, bullcrap. By the way, a neighbor of the suspect in the Ilhan Omar attack said he was medicated from a previous attack. Sent a cryptic message. Anthony Kamerchek's neighbor, Brian Kelly, said that, can you watch my dog? And he said, I'm going to this Omar thing, the town hall thing. I might get arrested. The neighbor said, I thought it was nonsense. But anyway, he's been heavily medicated from a car crash. That's his excuse. No, he's just nuts. He's just a nut leftist. Back to Donald Trump, by the way, speaking in Iowa. It was really good, by the way. A lot of good polling numbers. New poll dropped finding Americans support President Trump's mass deportation by 10 points, 52-42, after the most recent Minneapolis shooting of the nutbag, Mr. Pretty. Boom, there you go. Yeah, people are more down with it than ever. And what was it? One of the Ben or Jerry decided to come up with a new flavor. They're going to do a new flavor in honor of Renee Good. And I don't have the video in front of me right now. I think you should call it Minneapolis Nutbag. That's what I call it. Minneapolis or Minnesota Nutbag is what they ought to call that ice cream. But there you go. Back to the Prezi talking over there, talking about, the tariffs. The tariffs are working unbelievably. I mean, like, wow.
The tariffs have been indispensable towards success. We've taken in $600 billion in tariffs.
You know why the Democrats want to get rid of them? Because they're so successful.
The farmers $12 billion last week. I took them out of tariff money. It's kept the unfair competition out of our country. Yeah. Now, they can build their auto plant here, but they can't build a plant in some place with, labor costs for a penny and then sell it into this country and then charge people a lot of money for it.
Yeah, manufacturers coming back to America. It's just amazing, right? Here's the president talking about the Charlie Foxtrot of an economy that Joe Biden left us.
So now we're back where it all started to celebrate the greatest first year of any administration in American history. They say that he
freed the Iranian hostages and he bombed the Iranian nuclear plants and he captured Maduro, among other things.
Radical left.
He shut the southern border completely brought down murder to the lowest rate since the year 1900.
We did
but he needs a 25th Amendment.
A lot of things. 12 months ago, Joe Biden handed us a mess.
Yep.
We inherited the legacy of record high inflation, the highest inflation in the history of our country.
Yeah.
They say the fake news. Ooh, that's a lot of fake news. No, the fake news said it's 48 years. I remember recently I said the highest inflation, the worst.
No, it's only in 48 years. Like that matters. And this is why the Democrats are getting so big and ugly and doing all this caterwauling about ICE and all of this and all of this and all of this is because of this.
Under my leadership, economic growth is exploding to numbers unheard of. They've never had them before in recent times, and now And we're just getting started. You know, the great, big, beautiful bill, which is no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our seniors. Do we have any seniors in here?
You just got a raise.
Do we have any seniors in here?
You just got the biggest raise in Social Security in Social Security history. Just got a message from Birch Gold. Your rollover request is complete. I moved a 401k to gold, and guess what? You know what gold is at today? You better sit down. Are you ready for the price of gold today? Just shy of $5,300. It went $200. It went up $200 since yesterday. My goodness. When are you going to text my name, Rob, to Birch Gold? You want to know what silver is today? $113. They're saying $300 silver. Unbelievable. It was $30 last year. Gold was $2,600 last year. It's $5,300 an ounce. Text my name, Rob, to 989898. I did it because I said, I can't just sit here with this other 401k and just let it lie there and do nothing like Joe Biden on the beach. The deal, if with qualifying purchases, you can get up to a $10,000 rebate from Birch Gold, but you got to do it in 2 days, by the 30th. Okay? So by Friday, you got to get her done. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold, a company that I trust, A+ rating from the BBB, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of 5-star ratings, including me. Thank you very much. I just added to my portfolio, to my pile of gold, ladies and gentlemen, with Birch Gold. $5,300 an ounce today for gold, $113 for silver. Unprecedented growth. Get on the gold train. Text my name, Rob, to 989898. $200 since yesterday. Unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. On the way, John Reid ran for lieutenant governor in the state of Virginia. And I got to imagine he's going, oh, my God, what the heck? We're going to talk to him on the other side of the break. More of Trump's epic speech last night in Iowa, among other things, and new comedy from Jim Gossett on the way. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. You know, hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
Greenland's a country we should buy. You know I'm really gonna try. Buy in Greenland something we should do, or slap another tariff on the EU. Denmark, it's really time to sell. We promise to treat Greenland well. Greenland, it would be quite a prize. Mineral rich and really big in size. The ice, so nice. Much land, it's grand security. A great strategy. Greenland we should buy. Rent-free, in libs' heads I'm living. The fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy. says I'm not in her head. Break free, they simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads, because inside their heads I live.
Abigail Spanberger ran as a moderate Democrat, but in the opening days of her term, Spanberger and Virginia Democrats are looking to pursue new taxes, raising existing ones, expanding regulation, and rolling back fraud prevention guardrails. Spanberger ran for governor, emphasizing a focus on cost of living, a central theme as she took office.
If we fail to act on affordability, we risk slower economic growth, lower tax revenue, and declining productivity, consequences that would disadvantage Virginia for decades to come.
Spanberger inherited a $2.7 billion surplus from outgoing Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin, following a report saying Spanberger could boost the Virginia tax rate from 5.75% to 13.8%. Republican Congresswoman Jen Kiggins blasted Democrats on X, writing, "Democrats campaigning will make things affordable. Democrats once elected, here's a record hike in state taxes, and now new taxes on things no one ever imagined would be taxed. We were lied to straight to our faces. Pay attention, Virginia."
There has to be some sort of legal recourse to run as a moderate and govern as a communist. That's it. It would be like Mao Zedong running for office as a libertarian. It cannot stand. It cannot stand some of the nonsense that this wretched, crazy Catwoman this Karen is foisting upon the people of Virginia. Cannot stand. I can't imagine that the people of Virginia would stand for such things. And someone who knows Virginia more than I do, because I've only lived here 6 months, John Reid, former lieutenant governor candidate in the state of Virginia, now a podcaster, among other things. The Reid Revolution joins us on the Newsmax Hotline. So what do you think, man? What do you think about what she's doing? What do you think, man?
You're right to be so hot about it. I mean, the woman went all over the state trying to outfox Republicans and say she was the pro-business, pro-little guy candidate. And then, I mean, she hadn't even been governor for 2 full weeks, and they're already pushing, get this, a 4.8% tax on every delivery to your house, every Uber Eats delivery, every Amazon package, an additional 4.8%. People get ticked off if they go to eat in downtown and there's a 1% sales tax, to help build a convention center.
Yeah, and they want to get rid of gas leaf blowers. What the hell? And they want to any government funded charity. You cannot look into the charity. They want to eliminate hand counting votes. They want to allow ballots weeks later. They want to steal elections, John. Fortunately, one of the things that happened was they were going to try and redistrict the state, and the judge said, ain't going to happen. Not going to happen before the midterms. They wanted to steal the midterms in Virginia and eliminate the votes of millions of Republicans in the state of Virginia, John. That is thank God that happened at least.
Yeah, that judge saved us yesterday. It was a very reasoned, responsible opinion that was based on the law, not just emotions, which is pretty important. I'd like for everybody to recalibrate, if you're in the legal system, to base your decisions on the law. We've got a 6-5 situation where there's 6 Democrats in the U.S. Congress from Virginia, 5 Republicans in the U.S. Congress in the House from Virginia. They were going to take that, and the power grab was going to make it 10-1 with maps that looked like some sort of 5-year-old drew it with crayons. I mean, it made no sense. And this judge found that not only, he didn't even rule on the maps.
No.
He just ruled that they were breaking the law that they passed 5 years ago. They made the law, and then they're so arrogant and so obnoxious, they just figured they could get away with breaking it. They got caught yesterday.
John, if this is allowed to go forward, Virginia will become California. There's no doubt about it. It will end. I remember driving across the Potomac from Maryland into Virginia. It's like Oz. You see the Citibank building. It's unbelievable, gleaming. The malls are beautiful. Maryland is a Charlie Foxtrot. She and these Democrats will destroy this state, dude.
We've got to stand up. We've got to be vocal. I know there are a lot of Republicans after the defeat that, I suffered personally and that we all suffered in November. They're giving up and they're feeling bad. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But this is the moment to make sure that your neighbors know the extreme proposals that are before the General Assembly, that we make sure that we lobby the Democrats in your neighborhood who will think twice before they vote to raise your taxes, because they're going to see you at the grocery store or at the kids' football game.
And they tried to make basically guns illegal. Listen to this. A ban to bill assault weapons voted out of committee. Virginia Senate makes gun ownership illegal in the Commonwealth. The author is State Senator Sadim Aslan Salim. Born in Bangladesh, Virginia's code, an assault weapon is defined as any semi-automatic center-fire rifle or pistol that expels single or multiple projectiles. The bill makes it a Class 1 misdemeanor to possess or sell an assault weapon under this definition, as well as any magazine that holds over 10 rounds. Most firearms fit under this definition. If signed into law, it would turn millions of law-abiding gun owners in Virginia into felons. Listen to me. This is the most dangerous proposal. By the way, Harmeet Dillon says it will not stand.
Yeah, we're going to have to fight it in the courts, but we got to turn up the heat on them right now. This is a crazy proposal. They're even suggesting something that I think is blatantly unconstitutional, that you'll have to apply for a license from a special division of the Virginia State Police in order to even purchase a weapon. So they're not constrained by a cursory reading of the Constitution or common sense. These people are drunk on power, and the good thing for us is that they're overreaching. It's incumbent upon us to make sure everybody knows about it so that we can fix this problem in the next election.
Well, it's going to have to happen soon. What are the chances? Some of this nonsense passing, some of this getting rid of your leaf blower, and not being able to audit charities that get government money, which is exactly what's happened in Minnesota, not being able to investigate the massive fraud that we're exposing all over the country. They did that, and then also basically rigging the election so you can't explore fraud. They allow votes to come in ad nauseum 2 weeks after the election. This is insane, John, and I hope it's challenged legally, because this wretched woman who is the governor, this crazy cat lady Karen, not afraid to say it, by the way, she did not run on any of this. You cannot do this as a candidate. You cannot be a communist if you run as a Democrat. This has to be stopped, John, and it's going to have to be challenged legally. It's going to have to challenged. We cannot wait for this stuff to fall into place and Virginia to descend into hell.
One of the things that hadn't happened for Abigail Spanberger, because she was a congresswoman and didn't have a lot of scrutiny. She does not know what it's like to be the governor and really take heat for bad decisions that other people in her party are pushing. And I think she may wind up feeling that heat and decide to back down because she wants to have a future after being governor, and she's got to cater to her leftist crowd. But some of these things have got to be vetoed by her, and I think putting the pressure on her right now.
Oh yes,
and of course I need to clarify.
Yep.
Do it with phone calls and emails.
Yep.
Don't act like a Democrat and set her car on fire.
No, we're not going to do that. We won't do anything stupid like that because we don't. But by God, we got to put the heat on them. We got to light up those phone lines. We got to do whatever it takes. John, real quick before we go, you got a podcast now, The Reid Revolution. Tell me about it real quick and where to find it.
3 weeks into it. It starts at 10 o'clock every morning, but you can listen to it anytime, 24 hours a day on Apple. And, I talk to somebody nationally and in Virginia each day. And, having been a comms director in the Senate and run for lieutenant governor and worked for Ronald Reagan, I think I've got a kind of informed.
You're a broadcaster.
On a lot of these
who would be a good guest on that show? This guy right here. This guy right here.
Let's make it happen next week, my friend.
All right, bro.
To do that. I'm honored.
Hey, man, it's good. It was good to have you on, bro. We're gonna fight this together, okay? We're gonna be warriors for this state. Gonna save this state because I know I've talked to some people. There's no way they're gonna move from this state. The state is too good. It's always been a jewel in the crown of the United States in this area, and we cannot surrender it. We cannot, bro. Appreciate you, John. Take care of yourself, man.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Sing to me, Jimmy. Oh, so good. Never gets old. Never gets old. My producer, Redneck MacGyver Ken, says you could slow down a little bit. It's been a oh man, what a year. I'm not just talking about since January. I'm talking about the last 365 days. I got my desk here that I got this glorious broadcast desk built, and had it sent from overseas 4 months to get the damn thing here, and now they got to disassemble it downstairs, and then they're going to have to do some damage to it, and oh my God. This was the biggest challenge of my life the last year, getting a divorce, moving to Washington, D.C. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. I think we need some comedy from Jim Gaskin about Minneapolis and ICE. Sing it, Jim.
Protesters in Minnesota, they're out of control.
Yeah.
Jacob Fry, all he does is lie because he has no soul.
He's in hot water.
Tim Walz, he is just as bad. Criminals he'll defend. Each assault is the protester's fault. This madness has to end. Tom Homan says, hey friend,
come on.
You don't bring a gun to protest.
Not a good idea.
You better take his advice.
You're gonna get shot.
You don't run an agent down with your car, and you don't F around with ICE. Before you show up with a gun, you should think twice.
Yep.
You don't use an SUV as a weapon, and you don't F around with ICE. You don't F around with ICE.
By the way, if you want to help out Jim, go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. So the left, this Friday, they're going to do another walkout. They are going to shut down the country.
We're striking Friday. All of us, we are striking Friday. It's a nationwide general strike. That means you don't...
This is like your toddler throwing a temper tantrum on the floor of the grocery store when you say no to a candy bar and trying to get the adults in the store to lay down on the floor with them and say, oh, we want a candy bar, we want a candy bar, we want a candy bar.
You don't go to school. You don't shop. Remember, all of these things are tied into capitalism.
Yeah, you're a commie. Nobody's going to join you.
It is a socioeconomic system that demands state violence, like what we're seeing in Minneapolis, but also what we saw years ago with Philando Castile. So, on Friday, what are we doing?
What?
We're striking, guys. Great job.
Yeah, nobody's going to join you because you're a loser and you live in your mother's basement. I don't know if you knew this, but there was a nationwide walkout that shut down the economy on January 20th.
I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
On January 20th, we are walking out to free America.
And walking in to remove the regime.
We're walking out of work, walking out of school.
We're walking out of...
nobody did.
Anywhere and everywhere.
Because it's past time that we stop cooperating.
I want candy, I want candy, I want candy.
With fascism.
Starting at 2 p.m. local time, we'll start a wave of walkouts across the nation.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Send a clear message that we demand freedom from this hostile and lawless takeover of our country.
Then we'll start.
How about STFU? How about that? I think that's a good idea. How about shut your mouth and sit your butt down? My God, they are, as I said, movie vampires.
So it is mine.
I think people are just tired with it. I think they're really, really sick and damn tired of it, to be quite honest. This is kind of interesting because, I don't know if you knew this, that all these protesters in Minnesota and around the country are all white. They're all white liberals. Malcolm X warned about the white liberal. He did it in the 60s before they murdered him. And they are all white. And now a whole lot of black people, a whole lot of African Americans are saying, you know what? We kind of love America, and we're kind of sick of this crap. This is a video that's gone viral over the overnight. This guy's pretty amazing.
So do y'all notice who isn't at these ICE protests / riots? Black people.
What I tell you, homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews. We're going to come together and save this country.
Yeah. We're not going to be used anymore for your white liberal agenda that continues to use.
Remember when you defunded the police, you know who suffered the most? Black people.
Minority communities for your pet projects of trying to prove your sense of virtue and value to others.
Get back on the thought plantation.
Yeah, we're finished with that.
Yeah.
So
what has it gotten? What has it gotten in the inner city, particularly people of color? 60 years of misery.
Please stop it with these emotional ploys that are trying to beg black people to come out and join you in defending our communities. Yeah, our communities aren't illegal immigrant communities.
No.
Illegal immigrants who come into this country, they don't respect us, first of all. Our tax dollars are being wasted on them thanks to you white liberals who we've been noticing for quite a long time have deputized yourselves as the overseers of all politics related to black people. Yeah, there's no black and brown. There's no people of color. The groups and categories that you like to lump us into in order to carry forward your agendas of control, acting as overseers of our communities. Yeah. See, here's the thing. In the midst of your riots, where you're finally figuring out that you're FAFO, you're finding out. We're not interested.
Yeah.
We see.
Yeah, I told you. Homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews, what'd I tell you? We are not as divided as we think. We're not as divided as the left made us think. We are. We're not divided. We're brothers and sisters. We fight together. We fought wars together. We live together. We marry each other. We adopt children together. It's amazing. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Thank you, Brian. I went a little long there, which doesn't happen often. Usually I finish much quicker. So who we got here? We got Valentina over there in BFO5 and Sport Tech and Squirrel Girl. Glad to have you on there, Squirrel Girl, over on the Rumbly Roo. Got a new Rumbly Roo? Got a new one, Kathy Deaton, Shelby Inslee over there on YouTube. Good to see you. The YouTube numbers are growing. They're growing. 84 new comments on Facebook. Holy hell. I was infantry at first, later moved to mechanized infantry, was driver, crew, chief, and assistant gunner. Wow. That's pretty impressive. I'll bet you probably didn't even think about other soldiers' color, did you? You just were soldiers, right? Chris, my dad served in Vietnam. Mine served in World War II. He died 32 years ago he died. I was in my 20s. He was old enough to be my grandfather. Yeah, we fought together. We love one another. We adopt children together. We do all sorts of stuff together. We are not divided. We are one. And the Democrat Party is falling apart. Falling apart, yeah. How much time do I have, Brian? Yeah, go ahead. It ain't going to be long. 2.5? Okay.
We love to win.
Oh, yeah, baby.
CBM.com.
This is not an EV. And it never will be because they're pieces of crap, particularly in cold weather. You know, people in Canada, they a lot of them have an EV and an electric and a gas car because in the wintertime they can't depend on the EVs. Yeah, You know what I think we need? I think we need a little bit of good news.
We love to win. Winning, winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning.
Lots of winning, lots of winning, lots of winning, lots of winning, lots of winning.
It's oh so good.
This is economist Steve Moore talking about, guess what happened in the fourth quarter despite the Democrat shutdown? Oh, it just went nuts. The economy went nuts.
Look at the facts of the economy. It is a booming economy. The latest report is almost 5.5% growth in the fourth quarter, which is a incredible number. We haven't seen that in recent memory. We've got gas prices down. Inflation is headed down to the 2% target. Median family income last year was up $2,500. Those are people in the exact middle, adjusted for inflation. I mean, I could go on and on with the positive elements of this.
There you go. 5.5% GDP in the fourth quarter despite the Democrat shutdown. You're not going to be able to stop it, Democrats. This is why the Democrats are going to get so big and ugly. You have no idea. You're already seeing it, in Minneapolis, but it ain't going to happen in places like Texas. It's not going to happen in states like that. You're going to be beaten down. The Democrat Party is going to be beaten down, and the fraud in all of these states is going to be exposed. It is being exposed. And the Democrat Party, what's going to be exposed is they haven't won an election in a very long time. They steal them. They steal them and they buy them. They import voters to replace you. They load them up with free stuff, and then they do mail-in votes. I can go on and on. The Democrat Party is in a death spiral to hell. They are, but we got to keep the heat on. 5.5% growth. You know what it's going to be this first quarter? It'll be over 6%. It'll be 7 or 8% in the summertime. It's going to go through the ceiling. There's nothing they can do to stop the good news. Nope. Not one little bit. On the other side of the break, many Democrats are saying their hopes of a midterm victory evaporate. You know why? Because they're not doing anything positive. It's because they suck and they can't steal elections. Yeah, that's why. All of that's coming up in the third hour of the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 3 of the show. Here's the phone number. We have a phone number. I know we don't use them. 800-922-6680 if you want to chime in. John Leguizamo tells ICE supporters to unfollow him and stop watching his movies. Well, you haven't had a movie since Chef, and I've never followed you on social media, so there is that. There is that. So, yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Did you see that new Budweiser commercial with the horse and the American Eagle chick? That the horse helps to nurse. Doesn't say how the horse feeds him or anything, but all of a sudden the horse becomes a bald eagle and flies on the back of the horse and looks like Pegasus. And you're like, I don't even drink. I almost want to have a Budweiser. It's a far cry from the transgendered. What's his name over there? What's her name? Sorry, I didn't want to. They, them, whatever. There you go. Oh, by the way, and then Ilhan Omar. She had the magic loogie. This guy squirted some unknown liquid, which you got to be careful when you're a Democrat. Squirted an unknown liquid on her, and then it went into the waiting arms of security. And there are all sorts of pictures of him at Black Lives Matter protests. Then there's one where he's actually embracing Ilhan Omar with a bottle of Fiji water, and he's fanning out some dollar bills or something. And then there's she kind of gave him a little wink before he attacked her with the it's fake as Jussie Smollett, because she's in a whole lot of hot water because she had a fake winery. Oh my God, it was worse than a Somali daycare. I mean, they ladies of the audience who like to drink your Chardonnay, she besmirched Chardonnay because she didn't even have a winery. It was just, I know. You're thinking, oh my God. So there's, it's so wonderful. It's so delicious. It's just so delicious what's happening to the Democrat Party. All we got to do is hold on. That's all. We just got to hold on. We got to fight. I told you, I'm going to use mockery, ridicule, and satire. You overwhelm them with joy and patriotism, votes, getting out, being seen, and let Donald Trump handle the butt kicking. There you go. That's a good idea, right? I think it's a good idea. Here is Doug Schoen. He is a Democrat, and right now the Democrats are polling in the midterms ahead by 5 points, which he was 10 points the last time, whatever. It's always in favor of the Democrats. Who told you last year that the Democrats were not going to take both houses in the midterms? Oh, yeah, this guy right here, I pointed at myself with 2 thumbs. You know why? Because the Democrat parties are not doing anything good for America. And look at all the things that have happened with Donald Trump so far. Close the southern border. Deporting illegals. Cutting government spending. Cutting taxes. Cutting drug prices. Bombed the Iran nuclear facilities. Freed the Iranian Israeli hostages. A peace in Gaza. There's a possibility of rebuilding Gaza is happening right now. 7 other peace deals around the world. Went and got Maduro, pulled Maduro out. That was fantastic. So the people of Venezuela will be able to breathe free again. Went after narco drug boats. The crime in America has dropped. The lowest murder rate since 1900. The lowest murder rate since 1900. This year, no tax on Social Security. The largest increase in your Social Security take home in history. In history, you will pay no tax. Do you hear that, seniors? Gathering. Can you imagine what that means? Can you imagine what that means? That's a big deal. You shouldn't be taxed on it anyway. No tax on tips. If you're going to build a factory in America, everything's a write-off. Everything's a write-off. If you make, I believe it's about $250,000, you buy an American-made car, you write off the interest, just like a home loan. Guess what? You want to know what most of your car payment is the first 3 years? Interest! And the Democrat Party has what? We're going to impeach Trump. ICE are Nazis. Sure, yeah, you're going to win the midterms. Okay, sure. Here is Doug Schoen.
I think the Republicans and Donald Trump have to convince the American people that his policies have made a demonstrable difference in their economic circumstances.
They already have, yeah.
The other thing, which I suspect Kellyanne will agree with, there has to be the case made on the other side that my party, the Democrats, have failed to articulate an alternative policy and
that's absolutely true.
Alternative approach to that which Biden and now the progressives champion, which any rational person is going to say has been
crazy
failure. So for me, what Trump was doing today is the start of what the Republicans have to do. They've got a long way to go. There's a lot of doubt out there, but certainly the polling.
I don't have any doubt. Do you have any doubt? I don't have any doubt. I don't have time for doubt. All I got to do is have time for butt kicking.
Shows while the president's approval is down, what is not that big is the gap between Republicans and Democrats. It's only 3 or 4 points, which gives the Republicans a fighting chance.
Yeah. What else, Doug? What's so bad about the Democrat Party right now?
The way I'd say it is hope and optimism are what the American
joy and patriotism. Who's been saying that?
American people want. Trump started that process today. Yep. My party has failed utterly on that. And if the gap between the economic statistics and perception is closed and there is a future that people can believe in, it will be a very competitive midterm, because I can tell you.
Oh, that's going to be a very competitive midterm. But you know what, the Democrats, you know what they do have? They do have psychotic healthcare workers threatening Trump supporters and ICE members.
As a labor and delivery nurse, it gives me great joy to wish Caroline Levitt a 4th degree tear. I hope that you rip from bow to stern.
She's talking about Caroline Levitt, hoping that she has some injuries from childbirth.
And never normally again.
That's your Democrat Party.
Dead fish. Who is urging healthcare providers to drug ICE agents.
Oh, here's another one here.
Watch.
An ICE agent brings.
She took the psychotic oath. I mean, the Hippocratic oath.
X-Lax and put it in their drinks. Get them sick. Dead fish. Somewhere in the room hidden. Get the poison ivy oak water, and I'm going to put it into a water gun.
They put that on social media. Everybody can see that. So there is that, yeah. Virginia nurse placed on leave pending investigation following social media post encouraging people to poison ICE agents. So they're on this. So they're on leave. Let's see. Here's. Oh, there's another one. This is Michael Moncour, registered nurse at Atrium, North Carolina. ICE agents better pray they don't end up at the hospital because the nurses won't be kind. There's that. Here's another Gen Z caregiver talking to, I guess, people my age, Gen Xers, maybe in 20 years or so when we need care.
Does MAGA not know that they're going to get old? Like, in the future, they're going to need people to take care of them. Nursing homes are going to be pretty bleak for you guys.
Wow, you guys are nuts. The National Nurses United, a union of nursing professionals that claims over 225 members, announced a campaign to abolish ICE. A tribute to Alex Preddy, an ICU nurse who, by the way, was unemployed. And he had been fired because there were all sorts of allegations. I don't know what it was, all harassment or whatever, but there was some of that. He also was at ICE, attacked ICE officers a couple weeks ago, broke a rib. So, wow. You really, I would brush up on a career as a barista if I were you. This is Dr. Hamoun Hamadi. Last night, I believe, he was talking on Fox about the insanity that has affected the medical community and medical schools.
This is un-American. It's criminal and it's unethical. We take a sacred oath to take care of our patients no matter who they are and give equal care to every single person. American soldiers who are fighting and in the medical profession take care of people who they shoot on the field instead of letting them die. Our soldiers took care of more Taliban than they did U.S. soldiers on the field. And guess what? This is a symptom of our medical education system. You cannot get into medical school nowadays in the U.S. unless you are woke, far left, and answer admission questions related to your identity, related to oppression, related to being victim of oppression, and the curriculum has shifted from teaching medical.
Do you get it now? Why all of that existed? It meant to destroy the society. It was meant to destroy our country. It was in our military schools. They were teaching communist dogma at West Point and woke nonsense, all meant to disrupt. They had men in skirts in the military, all meant to disrupt, all meant to confuse, all meant to destroy morale, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Thank God Donald Trump won. Battle's not over. They are dying like movie vampires. I got my note from Birch Gold. Your rollover request is complete. It's not what it sounds like, Democrats. Nothing to do like that. Not your body position. Meaning that I just transferred an underperforming IRA into gold with Birch Gold. I did it this week. Started on Monday. Got it done today, complete. Just in time for gold to go to $5,300 an ounce today. $5,300 an ounce. Oh, my God. All you have to do is just text Birch Gold right now. My name, Rob, to 989898. I did this on Monday. What happened Monday night is I got Birch Gold and my previous 401k manager on the phone, did a little phone tag. They talked to each other. We'll send you this. We'll send this. Cut him a check. The next day. Birch Gold took my money out, withdrew it, sent it to Birch Gold. Bing, 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 bing. Just in time for gold to go up $200 in a day. Silver's $113 a little while ago. $113. Right now through, Friday. Birch Gold up to $10,000 rebate on qualifying purchases. So I did it. I did it because I felt the need. I needed to do this. I couldn't just sit here and watch this 401k sit at that amount. Another 6 months, another year, doing nothing. 20% in like 6 years. It was a joke. It wasn't. It was an afterthought. This little IRA was an afterthought. I said, let's do something with it for God's sake, because it's just going to sit there and be nothing forever. Text Rob to 989898 for information about Birch Gold. A+ rating for the BBB. They got money, my money. You should trust them to have yours. Text Rob to 989898 for Birch Gold. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Sending troops to Memphis, Tennessee, 'cause it looks like Memphis could use some help from me. The mayor has done nothing to put criminals away. Memphis needs our help, and they need it there today. The city's run by Democrats who defunded police. They can't do their jobs or maintain the peace. I'm sending in the guard. Memphis needs it bad. Their mayor, Paul Young, that guy's really sad. Voted the most dangerous place in the USA. Wouldn't want to live there. Wouldn't want to stay. Sending in the guard. That goal, it was mine. Democrats in Memphis, listen to them whine.
Drugs transported by boat. Venezuela, you best take note. Cartels, they're having fits, 'cause they're men. They were blown to bits. The drug boat, it now resides on the ocean floor. The drug boat. Marco says we're gonna take out more. Yes, their lives are in danger if they take another chance. 'Cause drugs, we won't tolerate. Shut it down before it's too late. no drugs. A boat that was filled with drugs.
Listen to this exchange. Tim Kaine, insane senator, and Marco Rubio.
We're not mad at Iceland. They haven't cost us any money. The president just mistook the two countries for each other, correct?
Yeah, he meant to say Greenland, but I think we're all familiar with presidents that have verbal stumbles. We've had presidents like that before.
That is a sick burn. Uh-oh. Zoran Mondami is called an emergency press conference because New York City is facing a financial crisis.
We are speaking about a fiscal crisis at the scale greater than the Great Recession. Wow. And so there will not be one single thing that can answer that crisis. It will require us to pursue every single avenue. That means looking inward into savings and efficiencies. That also means raising taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations.
Oh, you guys are going to get so screwed in New York. You and everybody's going to. It ain't just going to be. Not going to be just the rich. I mean, honestly, you are totally screwed. We got to stop the screwing, by the way, in Virginia. I swear to God. I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. U.S. formally leaves the Paris Climate Agreement. Yay! That's according to Newsmax. Newsmax! Have you been watching Newsmax lately? It's pretty kick butt, by the way. Pretty kick butt. Newsmax, anchors you can depend on. Anchors who are, they tell the truth. They don't change their stripes like, Brett Baer. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I said that out loud. Amazing. Carl Higbee last night. Did you hear what he said about this? The winery that Ilhan Omar had. She had a winery. Okay, so she got she's a crook. She's going to go back to. She's going to be removed from Congress. She's going to go back to Somalia, or in jail, one or the other. I don't care either one. But she and her hubby had a winery that went from $15 in value to $5 million in 1 year. And Benny Johnson discovered that it was just a building in a strip mall. And their social media, despite being worth all this money, stopped updating in 2022 or 23. Okay, they didn't sell any wine at all. Okay. And Keith Ellison was one of the business partners who used to work with her husband. Yeah. Keith Ellison, the AG of Minneapolis. He's going to go to jail too. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Benny Johnson was able to find their supposed inventory bottles and all the things they had, their office location, and a bunch of other information on the business. But as of today, those sites are totally shut down, and any mention of their website has been wiped off the internet. I'm talking gone.
That's weird.
The Wayback Machine, all these other crafty little archive sites, everything is gone. Like, deleted the root service. I called my computer buddy Jim. He couldn't even find it with some fancy AR.
This is worth the $25 million winery, and it's just gone all of a sudden. I'm not going to say, I wonder what. You know what it is. I mean, we're not stupid. Jeez, God in heaven. We're not stupid. How long have I been saying that? You know why I think that COVID didn't deserve all the bullcrap, all the shutting down the schools? Because I'm not stupid. You know why I knew Hunter Biden's laptop was real? Because I'm not stupid. You know why I knew Joe Biden had dementia? Because I'm not stupid. Don't catch the stupid. If you've been listening to my show for a while, you know that I've been right about all this 1,000,000% of the time. And you know what my next prediction is? You know it. Democrats are not going to win the midterms. Duh. Yeah. because there's no reason to vote for them because they suck. They're awful people. Awful people. This is, I played earlier in the show James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe decided to go to Minneapolis, and he was, there was an organized cabal of people who are a web of state officials and whatnot. And if you go into downtown Minneapolis in an SUV, they will track your license plate. And he was tracked around Minneapolis, surrounded by people, throwing ice bricks at him, followed to his hotel, into the lobby. They were there. And then he went to another hotel. They followed him there. And then one of the people on his crew said, either leave in 1 hour, Minneapolis, or we will kill you. That's your Democrat Farmers and Laborers Party. That's the City Council of Minneapolis. That's the Legislature of Minneapolis. That's the Lieutenant Governor of Minneapolis. That's the AG of the state of Minneapolis. And it goes right up to the governor. I would bet it goes all the way up to the governor. This is James O'Keefe. He was there when Dipweed got shot because he had a gun and he attacked the ICE agents. Listen to what happened right afterwards.
Well, what's really important...
Oh, no, that's Azra Namani. They gathered around him immediately. And he was also in the middle of this cabal of people. Here's who are part of the crowd.
What's going on? It's Jay O'Connell, watchdog. My fiance is a teacher.
Is she? What's she teach? What's she teach?
Special needs. Where are we going? I'm going to get my
We found teachers, nurses, and union organizers all telling us, we appreciate you, neighbor.
Yeah, it's like Children of the Corn in Minneapolis. Really is. Here's a little bit more from James O'Keefe.
This other protester we secretly recorded talks about an organization called Make the Road New York. We've never heard of this organization, but apparently they have a budget of $30 million. They talk about one of the speakers that spoke earlier that day, April Veretti. April is the president of the SEIU labor union.
I mean, if you're interested in an immigrants' rights organization.
Yeah, SEIU is part of it too. Azra Nomani. She is brilliant. We've had her on the show many, many years. We can't have her on anymore because she's writing for Fox News. We don't want somebody from the competition, but I'm going to go ahead and share this. She's done some research on what's going on in Minneapolis, and it's big.
There is a far-left network that is escalating its activities against the federal government. And in this network are self-described socialist, Marxist, Leninists, terms that we might not have thought we would hear today, but they are indeed on the streets. They have guides on how to track, monitor, and harass these federal agents.
Yes.
They have got guides on how to avoid detection and how to basically keep this strike against the U.S. in the, quote, belly of the beast to destroy the empire, as they call the United States.
Yeah. The DOJ, the IRS are going after these individuals. And Minneapolis, there are a lot of people. It is a giant organized crime confederacy. I'll just call it that. Organized crime confederacy in Minneapolis. The city is bonkers. It is bonkers. Too bad for the good people of Minneapolis. Jesse Ventura, who's, kind of a moron. I used to work with him when I was in, he competed with me in morning drive, and he hated me because I kicked his ass every day. He's saying that Minnesota should leave the union and join Canada. How about this? Alberta for Minnesota. Hell yes. I proposed it earlier this week. Let's take a break and come back. Emily Sturge, Campus Reform, next. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
I make the Democrats look incredibly dumb. Inflation is down, the economy's starting to hum. Still, it's a real good bet, the best is yet to come. Best is yet to come since we bombed Iran. Taking out all their nukes, that was part of the plan. The border's secure once again. Illegals are getting in. Doge has saved us billions. This is what it's like to win. Best is yet to come, and it's gonna be fine. Best is yet to come. Hear the Democrats whine. Listen to them whine. The last laugh is mine.
Who's ruined his state. Now he wants our children to self-mutilate. His policies are disgusting and lewd. And now he says schools have to include tampons in the boys' room. Tampons in the boys' room. Tim Walz and Kamala, a couple of fools. And everybody knows that liberals want to ruin schools. Tim allowed his cities to be burned by BLM. Criminals, illegals, they can count on Tim. His uniform, Tim was disgraced. He really crossed the line the moment that he placed tampons in the boys' room. Tampons in the boys' room. Tim Walz is a commie. Kamala is too, and everyone should know the damage that these two could do.
We have Emily. She's ready.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. In fact, we don't have to look any farther than the nation's report card known as the NAEP scores, right? National Assessment of Education Progress. They indicated for the 12th graders who were the original COVID cohort, they were first assessed at 8th grade, then assessed again at 12th grade when they were actually through the COVID pandemic. 27% are at basic proficiency in math, 35% at basic proficiency in English. That means we sent 2/3 of American students into the workforce and into college without basic proficiency in two fundamentals for American education. This should be the scandal of the century. And what we're seeing now is colleges who are now reckoning with the fact that the students that they're getting don't have middle school level proficiency skills. And that's why we see Harvard offering classes like remedial math.
I have two Gen Z kids. One's 26. He's doing okay. He kicked butt in college. He's a really great guy. My daughter, not so much. She's now in art school. She's coming around. But It was beyond cruel what the Democrat Party did to our kids with COVID. My daughter, after her midway through her freshman year, she lost the second half of her freshman year in high school. No learning, no contingency, nothing. First semester, sophomore year, all online. Half the time weren't there. Second semester, a couple days at school, couple days at home. Third year, junior year, all masking all the bloody stinking time. It was, to say the least, it was bizarre. It was, I can't even begin to relate to it, what it would be like to go through, what Gen Z went through because of these evil people who did this to them. I was thinking about the story. There's a story in the New York Post. Gen Z students so unprepared for college that coddling profs have started reading aloud to them. Emily Sturge is not one of those Gen Zers. She's with Campus Reform, and she is a Gen Z conservative. Emily, how are you today?
Rob, it is great to be with you. I'm doing fantastic today.
This hits me so hard because I watch my kids suffer through it, Emily. It just wrecks me. I'm so bloody pissed off about it. Tell me about your experience. Where were you when this COVID nightmare happened?
I was a high school student. By the time I got to college, much of the online learning, it was all online learning in college. There was no textbooks. There was no more physical books. Everything went online. It started when I was in high school, and then, of course, our college campuses still today. Everything is online. And this story that you brought up from the New York Post, now professors are saying that they've actually had to change their curriculum and read out loud to students because they're just not capable of doing, say, 20 pages of textbook reading. And look, that's a national embarrassment. Our students, they should be reading the Constitution. They should be reading Aristotle on our college campuses. It shouldn't be preschool story hour, but that's where we're at. College students can't even read.
This was intentional. This was intentional, wasn't it? It was intentional. It was meant to destroy. It was meant to destroy American citizenry. It was meant to destroy the country. It was all part of this massive teardown of society in general, wasn't it?
And universities were complacent. The blame here is not just on the students.
No,
it's on our education system. Let's talk about how universities have lowered standards. Let's look at admissions practices. Admissions went from requiring academic merit, SAT scores, ACT scores. Admissions became all about identity politics and DEI. And there's so many schools that we've reported at Campus Reform, the University of North Carolina, Brown University, just to name a few. They required all of these DEI admission statements, so of course, colleges were no longer letting in the most prepared students, no longer letting in the best and the brightest. Everything became about identity politics, and then the result is the classroom. We see the erasure of standards. We see declining academic ability. None of it's shocking when you look back to those admissions practices, which, by the way, all changed during COVID, to hit on your point.
And the worst thing is they are graduating students with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt and a worthless degree. They'll never be able to pay it back. It is just so ridiculous to think you've got a degree that's not going to help you and you're going to be saddled, Emily, till you're in your 30s, 40s, in college debt, holding you back from any kind of success with that debt on your shoulder. The positive is I'm hearing that as many as 25% of universities could default, could be shut down, and maybe this is catching up with them.
Tuition is absolutely one of the biggest expenses that my generation faces, hundreds of thousands of dollars upon their shoulders, and it makes, of course, harder to own a home, to buy a new car, to start their lives after college. And when we talk about this New York Post article about professors having to read out loud to students, the first thing I thought of is, who's going to hire any of these students if they can't read full sentences in the classroom? Nobody's going to hire them. And that's exactly why only 12% of college graduates, that's the stat, that's the percentage of students who are actually able to secure jobs before they finish school. Gen Z is graduating college, yes, with all of that debt, but they're not able to secure jobs. Only 12% have been able to secure jobs.
But
that's
did you see,
really
on a positive note, though, Donald Trump is bringing $18 trillion in investment into the country. They're building. trade schools are starting to kick some serious butt. People are getting to realize that maybe sitting in a cubicle, maybe being an academic, whatever, isn't as satisfying as being an artisan. As one of the big, there's a school in Kansas. I moved from Kansas here to Washington, D.C., where they're giving degrees in fixing up vintage automobiles. Whereas, like a Hemi Cuda that just sold for $3.3 million, you can be an artisan working on that car, making it into a work of art. Things like that, building stuff. It's very satisfying. Trust me, I did a lot of physical labor growing up, but it is kind of nice to know that we've always been taught you've got to have this hoity-toity degree, and you got to work at this hoity-toity job, when actually some of the most satisfying things you could do are building things that are tangible, and you can leave your work at work when you go home.
Absolutely. I love your optimism. I will say I'm pretty optimistic about this year, too, because, look, we've got a new man in the Oval Office.
Yes.
We're starting to see many positive changes to the education system, specifically colleges and universities. Last year, in 2025, with President Trump back in the Oval Office, and now we're starting to see changes when it comes to admissions practices from universities. We're starting to see some of those standards brought back. Universities are bringing back SAT, ACT. Once again, those were done away with during the COVID years. But then also, more than 20 states have passed anti-DEI laws and are now prohibiting those discriminatory DEI practices in both hiring practices and admissions practices. What does that mean? Universities are going to continue or start bringing back the best and the brightest candidates, whether it's professors or students. I think 2026, we're going to see meritocracy make a national comeback in our education system, so I think we should be hopeful.
And faith, because as I've told you this before, all of the separation that they caused Gen Z brought them together. They brought Gen Z together. The number one medium for Gen Z is spoken word. They want to connect with people. They realize the value of human connection. Not drinking, not booze. The booze industry is suffering. Gen X, we drank it all up, man. Gen Z is moving back to God and good, and I'm optimistic, Emily. I really, really am. But we have to be joyful warriors. We have to be joyful warriors. Emily Sturge, always a pleasure to have you on. Where can people find all of your glorious work?
Thanks so much for having me. We are reporting every single day at campusreform.org, and I am at Real Emily Sturge on all social media platforms.
All right, thank you. We'll talk again soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. So I'm in the middle of doing this show, and I got this desk that I had built abroad, and I told them you need to make it so it come apart so we can get it into the doors and everything. No. They've had to disassemble it. Then they're going to have to come back Saturday and reassemble it, and I'll be able to use it for about a year until we move out of this building, and then it'll probably just go in the garbage. This is the day I'm having. But I think we've done a pretty damn good job doing the show. Have we done a pretty damn good job showing? I think we've done a damn good job doing the show. I really do. I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of stuff going on in Minnesota with absolute fraud, and it's all over the country. And the Democrat Party is being exposed, and this is why they're, screeching and trying to burn the country down like they did in 2020. They are, and they'll do anything because they know they're in a lot of hot water. They know a lot of people are going to be going to jail. And one of the people is Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom will never be the president of the United States. He's done. He's absolutely finished. He is massively, massively corrupt to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. When I said a couple years ago that we were going to discover that we were as corrupt as the Soviet Union, but with $7 trillion per annum to steal, I never imagined. I never imagined that we were always the guys who wore the white hats. We made fun of Soviets. We made fun of those bureaucrats. Our Washington, D.C. is the worst. I can't even begin to express my horror every day the more I learn about how awful and evil these people are. I said that people move to Washington, D.C., they spend their entire lives telling us how to live ours, right? Remember that? I said they are the bourgeois and we are the proletariat. I've been saying that since January the 6th. I said that it was a Reichstag moment, and then I said we are the proletariat, they are the bourgeois, and now we have a Bastille. Remember that? I said that 6 years ago, 5 years ago. I said it all. I never realized how evil these people could be. And I have nothing in my heart but defeating them, seeing that they go to prison, and making our country as great as it can possibly be. And you and I can do that together. We're going to do it together. There's no doubt about it. Here is Dr. Oz, Mehmet Oz, talking about the state of California. The state of California.
California is already paying back $1.6 billion that they previously charged to the federal government for health care services given to illegal immigrants. But they have a much bigger fraud problem that hurts American citizens. So I've instructed Governor Newsom to produce within the next 3 weeks a comprehensive program integrity action plan to address major fraud in their healthcare system. I'm going to give you 3 examples of embarrassing fraud that Governor Newsom has been seemingly tolerating for years.
They knew about it.
First, California shares the problems that we are seeing in Minnesota.
He just bought an $8 million mansion.
In-home supportive services. What are these? They include personal care like bathing or grooming, household tasks, cleaning and cooking, shopping, transportation.
Yeah.
Now, these are tasks that your family could do for you, but having the government pay has generated some significant cash for unethical people. California's spending for these services increased from $8 to $28 billion over the past decade. Why should the federal taxpayer spend 250% more money on California, which is already an affluent state? And this program is still growing by double digits annually.
I know.
Second, in 2024 alone, spending for home health care in California increased by more than 21%, representing the largest growth rate for any major health category nationwide.
And by the way, also, hospice care. Report showing the number of hospice agencies increased by 1,500% since 2010. 1,500%. That exceeds the 40% increase in senior population, and it's tied into the Russian mob, by the way. We are a sick country. A really sick country, a really, really sick country. I mean, talking about physically ill country, and Donald Trump has to fix it now. And there are people, evil people, who want the country to die. All of this was about killing the country, by the way. All of this was about killing the country. It is so sickening. Unbelievable. This is Tim Burchett. He's in charge of Doge now. Listen to this federally. Listen to this.
Federal buildings owned by members of Congress that are leased out to the federal government. I mean, private buildings owned by members of Congress, leased back to the federal government.
Yeah.
And so that's like the snake eating its tail, right?
That is the tip of the iceberg. That just shows you my frustration with this thing. I found out through government duplication. I've got a chart. It's just the craziest looking thing. And it shows, and my staff has uncovered basically over $1 trillion of just simple duplication within these departments.
When Joe Biden lost, he spent $63 billion to green energy bullcrap, including $2 billion to Stacey Abrams, the failed gubernatorial candidate in Georgia. She had a little charity where they bought electric stoves for trailer parks, and it had $200 in its bank account. He gave them $2 billion. You and I will never see that kind of money. You and I will work ourselves to death. You and I will work ourselves to death. We will never get that $1 million, $2 million we need to retire comfortably. Many of us will never have that boat. Many of us will work ourselves to death while these sons of bees robbed us blind. I said years ago, I used the analogy of Kurt Russell in Tombstone. I said, we're coming and we're bringing hell with us. And I remember I had a person I worked with who hated that I use that analogy. You can't use it. Yeah, really? Well, guess what? I was right. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Streamers. Hey, guys, it's Carson for Streamers. Look at what they did. Look at how much suffering they did. Made us suffer while they got rich. So I'm just done. Are you done? I'm about done. Done. Hello, everybody. Hastings, good to see you. Deplorable Dinosaur, what's going on? Good to see you. Rob is the cutest Rob on Newsmax. Oh, no, I am not the cutest Rob on Newsmax. My God, Rob Schmidt, are you kidding me? Rob Fenner, are you kidding me? I mean, I'm pretty hot, don't get me wrong, ladies, but nothing like those two guys. Thank God in heaven. Spectacular. Looney Tunes. Who's Looney Tunes? I'm just seeing Looney Tunes for the first time over there on Facebook. Hi. Hello. Vicky, Dale, Arsenault. Good to have you guys there. I got my movers here in the studio with the studio desk they had to take apart to bring it upstairs. My God, what a mess. They're great guys, though. All right. They're getting everything. I'm going to have to come back on Saturday and fix my desk here. You drink it. Hello, Spartek. What up? Round a pony. All you guys, glad to have you joining me today. Swirl Girl, you're new. Again, I mentioned you earlier. Thanks for joining me. Share with others if you wouldn't mind. That'd be great. What am I going to do here? Oh, here we go. Yeah, I got something. I got a couple good things. Coming up here. How much time we got? All right. 3.5. Here we go.
There is a Far Left Network that...
Thanks for watching, guys. Alberta from Minnesota. Hell yeah, right? Am I right? Hell yeah. Who? Oh.
There is a Far Left Network that is escalating its activities against the federal government. And in this network are self-described socialist, Marxist, Leninists, terms that we might not have thought we would hear today, but they are indeed on the streets. They have guides on how to track, monitor, and harass these federal agents. They have got guides on how to avoid detection and how to basically keep this strike against the U.S. in the, quote, belly of the beast to destroy the empire, as they call the United States.
Yeah, that's happening all over, but Minneapolis is ground zero for it, and they're going to have to use organized crime laws to go after the Minnesota DFL. I'm predicting that for sure. And I think old Time is going to sing like a bird. Here is Azra Namani talking about one of the principals, the architects of all this nonsense. Neville, sing him.
So what's really important to know is that right after the killing, there was an escalation of their activity where they put protesters out on the streets. Who were these groups? They were people like the People's Forum, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and they put their word out through a propaganda network called Breakthrough News. It's all those organizations are funded by an American-born billionaire living in Shanghai named Neville Roy Singham. He's already under investigation by congressional leaders for alleged intervention and interference in the U.S. domestic politics. It's really serious business that's happening right now.
Yeah, they're going after his finances. The Scott Bessent's going to go after, shut him down. Hopefully George Soros as well. We're going to have to nip this in the bud, and it is going to get much bigger and much uglier. As I said, overwhelm the left with joy and patriotism. Get out, vote. Obviously, you're going to vote. Get active. I'll handle the mockery, ridicule, and satire here, and let Donald Trump and the DOJ and the IRS and the DHS kick their butts. That's what we have to do. But I will tell you also, we are in for the greatest year of our lives. Economically for the country, freedom around the world, coming to Iran, pray for the people of Iran, that the people of Persia will be free. Cuba, Venezuela, greatness that you can ever imagine. Don't let them take that joy away from you. They will do their level best. And there are days that I come in here and I go, what am I going to make of this? And every day I say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Remember that the forces of evil try to separate you from God. The forces of evil try to separate you from God. So you blame God. You blame God for the issues you're having and the pain you're having. Don't let that do that. Stay with God. It will be good. I'm not meaning to proselytize. I'm just saying be on the right side of good here. Don't bed down with evil. The evil that we're in the throes of, good versus evil right now. I told you this. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. We are the reaction. We are the yan. We are the good. We are a godly movement. Stick with it, okay? All right. God bless you, Donald Trump, what he's doing for this country, the greatest country in the history of mankind. Until tomorrow, which is Thursday. Don't catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.